This is humanity's first landing on Mars. The astronauts had originally planned to bring Martian soil samples back to Earth for research, but they were unaware that a terrifying alien species was hidden within. Just as they were starting up the spacecraft to head home, something horrifying occurred. The container used to store the samples suddenly opened, and the soil inside had turned into a slime that flowed out and slowly crept towards the unsuspecting astronauts. In the final moment before the spacecraft took off, the black slime suddenly attacked the 3 crew members. Then, the spacecraft briefly lost contact with Earth. When the 3 slowly opened their eyes, it seemed as if nothing had happened. They informed headquarters that everything was normal and immediately piloted the spacecraft back to base. Little did they know, a terrifying disaster was about to befall Earth. In fact, this wasn't the first time humans had encountered this alien species. As early as 1974, scientists had combined a type of alien DNA with human genes to create a brand new life form, which they named SIL. However, due to its astonishingly rapid evolution and otherworldly reproductive abilities, the research facility ultimately had to destroy SIL for the safety of Earth. Despite this, the military personnel remained uneasy, fearing that this terrifying extraterrestrial creature might make a comeback. In order to find a way to counter them, the military, under the leadership of Dr. Annie, used SIL's genes to clone her. However, Annie tried various methods to attempt to harm the clone, but to no avail. The adaptability of this alien species was truly abnormal. As soon as it was attacked, it would immediately evolve the corresponding antibodies. The military was at a loss. The clone, Amy, had a hint more humanity compared to the original. After spending a long time together, Annie and Amy had developed an emotional bond. The intelligent Amy knew that she was just their lab rat and began to express her dissatisfaction to Annie. However, due to her duties, despite feeling some reluctance, Annie had no choice but to obey her superior's orders. Soon, the 3 astronauts also arrived safely back on Earth. The doctors first performed physical examinations on them. After initial checkups, the 3 seemed to have no abnormalities in their health. However, to be safe, more detailed blood tests were needed. So, until the results came back, they were forbidden from having intimate contact with anyone of the opposite sex. Rick, however, didn't listen to this advice. Right after the celebration banquet ended, he immediately got together with a woman. To their shock, shortly after getting together, the woman's belly rapidly swelled up. The alien species inside her belly quickly burst out, and both of them lost their lives. In just a few hours, the alien species had already grown to the size of a several-year-old child. Rick took them to a hidden farm. Meanwhile, in the distant research base, Amy seemed to sense the presence of others like her, causing her innate desire to reproduce offspring to become exceptionally strong. At the same time, the doctor observed Rick's blood under a microscope and realized something was wrong. An unknown, active cell was rapidly devouring his cells. Unexpectedly, just then, the container full of blood was suddenly knocked over. The spilled blood actually had consciousness and instantly flowed along the floor to the corner of the wall. The curious doctor immediately went to investigate, unaware that another bizarre event was about to unfold.